that I use. What were the other questions here? I gotta scroll up. Oh, how often do I get distress messages from the sim? It's funny. I don't get a lot, and when I show up, people tend to run away. I have no idea why. I never ban anybody for more than a half an hour. You'll see if you go there that my ban lists are blank. I'm very open to trying to understand how people are trying to understand how to use Second Life. And griefing is no different than graffiti. It's the same thing. People go into the world, and they see something like a blank wall in real life, and they want to test their boundaries. Who's in charge here? And how much can I get away with here? And the first thing that they do is spray paint the wall. And then they can sit there and wait and see what's going to happen to me if I vandalize this place. It is exactly the same, and I think that's really fascinating. And griefers don't bother me all that much. If they're bothering somebody who it is bothering, somebody's trying to be creative in the space, then yeah, I'm gonna say, okay, you gotta go now, and ban them for 30 minutes, and they usually just don't come back. I had administrative access to IBM 6, which is a fairly well-known sandbox that just closed. If you're interested in an IBM location, there's IBM Exhibition Island now. I don't have much to do with IBM's islands. The IBM 6 sandbox was something I volunteered for, and it was pretty much daily. People love to grief the place. Probably one because of the IBM name, and it seems funny, and the other is it was a fantastic sandbox. It ran well, and you could do a lot. Anything above 68 meters, you could drop some pretty nasty griefs on the place. So I would say sandboxes probably get hit more often than the average art sim. And I think at the same time, there's not much meaning in griefing a place that is non-profit. There's no gain to it. The people that are there to socialize. It's not. I don't know. I just think it's a different context when you're trying to test your boundaries of especially authority. An artistic sim isn't really a great target. Art tends to question authority in itself. So to grief on them, it's the reward I think is lower. Of the actual feedback that you get on that grief. So that's how I feel about griefing. Were there any other questions I'm forgetting?
We could probably talk for hours. It was really great. Thank you for persisting and getting back here. Folks were really talk.
Okay.
Lots of applause for that. Yes, indeed.
All right.